Coming up on today's episode, it may be a new year, but will there be a new me? Up next on Themindhere. Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Theguyhere, and welcome back to another episode of Themindhere, the bi-weekly podcast where I talk about new knowledge I've learned, projects I'm working on, and current events. Topics may be random, but I hope that with each episode you can come away with a fresh perspective on the universe. Welcome to all of you who are here for the first time. If you like my content and want to see more, please consider subscribing. All right, so first thing, Happy New Year to everyone who has been watching and keeping in touch with my episodes. This is the first episode of the year 2022, so we're gonna start off with something quite interesting. It's gonna be a break from the normal format, and there are a few reasons behind that. First is that I'm only here temporarily, currently in the room I'm in right now. This is my old bedroom that I have where I lived for a while, not the place where I was for the past several months at my internship, and I'll be, by the time the next episode comes out, so episode 61, I believe, I will be in my dorm, so this is just a temporary place, so a lot of things are not quite set up because it'll be a hassle to take them down. And the other reason behind this, a little break in format of the usual format that I've established of those reflections and then calling shots and all of that stuff. Taking a break from that a little bit is because of the cleanup that I have to do for the mess I've made for myself this break so far. I've been hardcore procrastinating on my life for the past week since I've been here, mostly just consuming entertainment, pretty much getting not too much else done, maybe meeting up with friends, so social interactions, catching up on that, but otherwise really not too much productive work getting done here. And in order to bring myself back to that, I've dedicated the next few days to getting my LifeOS reset up. It's been sort of broken, and I've been meaning to fix that. So now that I have time, I'm going to dedicate some time to fixing that up. But that will take a lot of mental brain power, and then also just preparing for the move itself, meeting up with a few other friends before I leave, making sure that I have things ready before I leave. There's a lot of that going on, so this episode is going to be a little bit short, and usually when I have the breakthrough section, I've been reading up on articles, news, and I have something to comment about, but I've really been not paying attention to any of that, so I don't have that much for you. So this is going to be a little special episode, not because it's the new year, not really because it's episode, I believe, 60, so a round number, but just because of the circumstances around here. But I'm still dedicated to bringing out these episodes every other week. So that's why this is going to be a little break of the format. But without further ado, let's go into today's episode, and it's going to be around the topic of the new year, and that is the idea that that some people have the idea that because it's a new year, there will be new things that happen. And of course, for me personally, I've long abandoned the idea that as soon as the clock turns, that everything will be different. Nothing is really, there's no break in the time continuum. It's the same flow of time, and you're still pretty much the same person as you were before this new year came about. After all, the construct of the year is a human construct, right? There's nothing in time that says, oh, and now here's something completely different, right? So it's purely a human construct there. But it's important in some ways because it's a temporal landmark. It's one that everyone has consensus on, that is sort of a starting point. It's a point that everyone recognizes, not just like, oh, hey, it's my birthday. Not everyone will recognize that, although most people will recognize the significance to you, but this is significant to almost everyone universally across the world that uses the calendars that we use right now. So this is something that can be quite important, and you can leverage temporal landmarks to do some mental resets and give a good reason for you to start over and do things over. Now, waiting for these temporal landmarks may not be the optimal choice. You can most of the time can pretty much ignore it and start whenever. If you started a little late, say you wanted to do something for your resolution, but it's now already the second day of the new year, it's not as sexy sounding as starting on the first day. But is there really a difference between starting it on the second day and the first day when if you've continued it and sustained it until the last day of the year, you look back, is there really a difference there? Not really, but it's just that it's more common that people start on that day because there's more of a reason to. And so for me, I've been sort of ignoring that. I've been sort of desensitized to these made-up constructs and these made-up importances, but I've realized that I could have used this leverage more meaningfully and done a lot more with this and brought a lot more startup. As of right now, there are some things that I'm still working through to clean up messes of, so I won't really be starting on that brand new day of the year, but I'm still going to be starting it up nonetheless. I'm dedicated to become a better person to do so. And going forward, I plan on to sort of cut away all the distractions that I've been consuming myself and procrastinating with, all the video games and the YouTube videos that I've been watching. Cut away those because I need to focus on a few things that I want to do, whether that be projects, career, academics, etc. So I'm going to be dedicating time to that. So there will be some changes there, but I'm also, besides just the life operating system that I use in Notion to manage my life and reorganizing that, I'm also going to be taking a look at the channel, seeing what content I really want to create, what future do I want for this channel, and how I'm going to get there. So there's going to be a bit of a change there, and hopefully I'll be getting out some progress videos soon. Unfortunately, when I talked about the plugins that I've developed, I'm nowhere near close to finishing, and that's because the scope just kept growing and growing. So the video at the end will likely not happen for a while, but I'm still dedicated to getting some video out, and it's likely going to be in the form of another transcription because those are relatively simple to make. And once I get the inspiration to do it, it can come by pretty quickly, and it's not such an elaborate process. But I do plan on maybe sharing the life operating system that I've now or will develop, as I'm still developing it right now. And then once I get all those plugins finished up and cooked away, I'm going to, put out videos just as guides for the plugins themselves, but also maybe behind the development process and to share that as well. But so those are the updates for me for this year. Look forward to some hopefully good changes, and I'll see you all when I move in to my dorm and finally move on to campus of the university that I've been studying at for the past year. So that's it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching and supporting. I appreciate all the support that everyone has been giving to me. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave them down in the comment section of the YouTube video. Stay humble, and I will see you all in the next episode. This is Theguyhere, out.